Hey, Luke Mick, wake up, fuckface. Fucker. Stupid piece of shit sleeping. Fucking nappy time. You tired, Luke Mick? Fucker, get up. What are you doing here? What do you mean? I live here. That's right. How could I forget? Slipped my mind. What do you want? Well, we got this big old box in the mail from Vinegar Syndrome. You want to take a look at it? I didn't order anything from Vinegar Syndrome. No, I ordered it. I got you a little shirt. I don't need any more shirts. Put it on. Why? I don't want to. I'm wearing a perfectly fine shirt right now. Why do I have to put the shirt on? I don't even want it. I didn't even buy the shirt. Just put on the shirt. Okay, it's a pretty nice shirt. Here, let me show you the box of movies that we got in the mail here. Jesus. How much did you buy? I bought what I felt was necessary. We share a bank account. We also share a Blu-Ray collection. Don't forget that, Luke Mick. Don't you ever forget that. You know me so well, Mick Luke. You know me so well. What is all of this? It's classic cinema. It's classic. Extra 3? What the fuck is this? What is this? Beyond Evil? There's so much garbage in here. It's classic cinema. You got some genre stuff in there. You got some exploitation, some horror. What the fuck is this? 1001 Erotic Nights? Mick Luke, what are you doing? A little bit of sci-fi. There's a big variety of stuff. It can get you entertained for hours. I don't know why you're complaining. I can't believe you did this. I cannot fathom the idea of anyone doing this. I can't believe you did this without asking me. Put that shirt on right now and get in front of the fucking camera and start showing us what's in that fucking box, Luke Mick. You do it right now. Good. That's what we all want to see. That's all. That's just what we want to see, right, everybody? Don't we just want to see Luke Mick go up in front of the Blu-rays there and just talk about this box and what's inside of it? That's all we ask. It's not that much. It doesn't have to be so fucking difficult, Luke Mick, right? Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke Mick, in case it is your first time around. Today, a box appeared in my doorstep, I guess. At least that's the story I understand. A box full of Vinegar Syndrome films. Vinegar Syndrome films. Vinegar Syndrome, if you're unaware, is a boutique Blu-ray and DVD label. They do really great restorations of a lot of horror, exploitation, sci-fi, erotic films, a whole line of movies. It doesn't matter what it is. If they can get their hands on it and they want to bring it back to life in the modern high-definition age, then they'll do it. They recently had their infamous halfway to Black Friday sale where a lot of their items are half off, and you also have the opportunity to purchase their subscriber package, which allows you to get basically all of their releases with their specially designed slipcovers for the rest of the year, the rest of 2020 in this case. I signed up for that, so the thing that's special about this is that this is probably the biggest box I'll ever be receiving from Vinegar Syndrome. I'm never going to have this many Vinegar Syndrome titles in one sitting than I do in this video. I'm basically playing catch-up. I told Mick Luke I was interested in this stuff. He went ahead and just bought it without confirming with me that that's what I wanted to do. Mick Luke just took it and ran with it and didn't ask me. But I guess it doesn't hurt because now I have a whole box full of trashy movies that I can watch anytime I want. So let's get started because we have a lot to go through. First up in my hands here, the Candy Snatchers. A lot of the ones I picked up still have the slipcovers. They limit these to usually 2,000, I believe. So once they're gone, they're gone. So With this sale, I was really just trying to buy a lot of their recent releases that still have the slips in stock, but this film, first of all, has a great looking slipcover. I love the black, the dark blue, with that kind of pale orange and that red. Beautiful design on this, and I've heard this is actually a really good kidnapping film. Like, it's a pretty effective, dark thriller, I guess, from what I understand. So I'm really excited to watch The Candy Snatchers. This is one that I also is a recent release, like most of them, that has just an incredible cover, in my opinion. Hollywood Horror House. So many different colors on this thing. Lots of characters embossed in white here. We can flip to the back and it says, "A new high in terror and shock." I love this like colored checkerboard design they used on this slipcover. But this is a 70s era horror film, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Was shot on and off between late 1969 and mid 1973, so it took them 4 years to film this movie. And just the images that Vinegar Syndrome provided on their website for this made it look like it was going to be a really bloody, psychedelic type horror film, and I'm very excited to check out Hollywood Horror House. Next up is... I'm going to leave this one for Mick Luke. We're going to make a little bit of a Mick Luke pile, because some of these movies I don't want to talk about. I'll leave it to him. Does that sound alright to you? Whatever you say, Luke Mick. I'll do as I'm told, for now. The next one here, they packaged individually. Pretty sure it's Blood Games, which for this sale was one of their secret releases. And it comes with 2 inner sleeves. I think one of them is like they misprinted something from what I understand. Blood Games sounds really awesome. It's like a girls' softball team fall prey to a murderer or something like that. It sounds amazing. I love in the original Sleepaway Camp the baseball scene.
So, you know, this guy blows dead dogs. Just lay it in there.
Eat shit and die, Ricky!
Eat shit and live, Bill.
Like, who doesn't want to watch a movie about a softball team being attacked by a killer? I'm sure a lot of people don't want to see that, but to me it sounds like a lot of fun. So that's Blood Games. And this is the slipcover here. They have it flattened and I can't really turn it into its true form right now. So that's the front, that's the back. Extro 3. This one, it has a cool cover. It's got a really ugly, derpy looking alien on the front, and it's kind of in the stars, the skyline, and some fire or moonlight is reflecting off of his lower face there. This is the back. There isn't much on the back, but it just says, "Watch the skies." I wish I had Extra 1 and 2. I don't know what their Blu-ray availability is, so it might be weird watching Extra 3 without watching the other 2. Or maybe it doesn't matter, because it's probably just really stupid. But I'm sure it'll be fun and enjoyable in some way, regardless. This is another one Mick Luke has to talk about. Okay, this is an older Vinegar Syndrome release that they didn't have the slipcover for anymore. I'm sure it's been out of print for a long time, but it's a movie that I've wanted to watch forever. It's Jack Frost. This was a Netflix classic. Like, I always saw this movie on the recommended on Netflix, and I always wanted to watch it.
It looked so stupid.
But there is a crazy snowman shower scene in this movie where the snowman ends up in the shower and kills a woman in it. It's just that kind of movie. This, I believe, was another surprise release for the sale. It's called The Severed Arm. Really amazing artwork on this one. That yellow is so stark and it really pops. And that arm, that deep black arm, it's got a nice smooth embossed finish on it, and the back is really awesome as well with this weird long stretched out hand. So that's The Severed Arm. It's a guy with an axe, I know that.
And that's all I know.
And I just want to take a quick moment to stop the video here. If you've been enjoying what you've been watching, or you've seen previous videos of mine and enjoy those, and you're not subscribed yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And if you're interested as to updates on the channel or what I'm working on, I usually post on my Instagram account, which you can find in the description below. And you can also keep up with the films that I've been watching while I'm not making videos by looking at my Letterboxd page, where I'll rate basically everything I see and oftentimes write a little review for the films that I've been watching. So if you're interested in any of that, please consider following those pages and subscribing to the channel, and let's get back into this video. This is a Vinegar Syndrome archive release, and I'm not very familiar with these films because I've never bought a Vinegar Syndrome archive edition, but I think they number these. Yep, this is number 749. I like that number. This is kind of well, not kind of, it's a really cool slipcover in that you pull the movie out from the bottom. It's nice and thick like the others, and it's just got so much great artwork around the entire thing. This is Dr. Jekyll's Dungeon of Death, which is a pretty insane title, if you ask me.
It was an instant purchase. I didn't even know it was going to be on sale. I think it was a surprise release.
I saw it, and I was like, wow, that sounds so cool. Add it to the cart. Let's keep going. Another Mick Luke one. Hopefully there aren't too many more of those. Okay, there were a bunch of these that I did not plan on buying before the sale started. I kind of made a list of things I knew I wanted to get, but I just got to the point where I was like, does that look like a gory, bloody, schlocky horror movie? Add it to the cart. Slipcover still available?
Add it to the cart.
So I'm going to run through a couple of those. I got Luther the Geek. You can tell by the cover, it looks like it's going to be pretty disgusting. Really shiny red and black slipcover. I love the shine of these teeth in the title. Demonoid, another one that just looked like it had really cool, bloody practical effects and maybe some creature effects. Anything that looked like that still had the slip in stock, I pretty much just bought because I'm a crazy person. I go nuts. This one's really cool. Night Train to Terror. I believe this is a film that they already had in the Vinegar Syndrome collection, but they never printed a slipcover for it, from what I understand. So they were selling the slipcover on their own, or you could buy the movie with the slipcover. It sounds really interesting, actually. It's about, like, God and the devil being on a train or something. I'm really, really excited for it, and the slipcover is just beautiful. I love the bluish purple colors with that deep red of the blood there. Great slipcover. Unmasked Part 25. This is supposed to be like a spoof of the Jason films, the Friday the 13th films. It's got a cool embossed cover here, of course, like most of them do. I've heard kind of mixed things about this, but it looked like it had some pretty good gore in it, so I added it to the cart. And I love the slipcover for this one, and it sounds like the movie would be a blast. It's called Berserker. It's like a Nordic curse slasher film, like Viking ghosts are wreaking havoc on like campers or something. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it sounds so fun, and the slipcover is just so cool in my opinion. This almost looks like some type of like Pink Floyd The Wall sort of artwork. It looks sweet. Okay, I just found some more Mick Luke ones. I think that's it for the Mick Luke movies that I found in the box. Do you want to take over and talk about those real quick? Okay, he's gonna do his thing. I'll be back when he's done, so I'll be over here if you need me. Thanks, Luke Mick. I won't hold the spotlight for too long now, will I? So, Luke Mick actually wants me in front of the camera. That's the first time you've invited me onto here. Thank you for that. A round of applause, everybody, for Luke Mick finally allowing me in front of the camera. His own will. I can't believe it. So he wanted me to talk about these other movies. These movies that he claims to have not ordered. So I'm going to talk about the more specialty adult films that came in this package here that he was unaware of, but old Mick Luke, he hit that place order button. He knew all about this. So the first one here is Public Affairs. I like this one because of the colors. These colors are amazing. The colors of America. No, more like the colors of Spider-Man. Let's say that. I like Spider-Man more than I like America. Just kidding. Well, I like Spider-Man a lot. Nice matte finish. It's a little bit older feeling, and the back has a pretty impressive tagline, if I do say so myself. The whole thing that started this idea of even buying the adult films was just the slipcover and the case for this one. This is a great cover. It really is, if I'm being honest with you. You know, you don't really know exactly what this is going to be until you read the back. Ba-bam! Next one I have here is China and Silk. This is read as a hardcore action thriller that involves a heroin trade and a detective trying to figure out who is responsible for drugs being smuggled across borders and such. No slipcover on this one because it's a little bit older. I don't know if they even made a slipcover for that one. It might be that old in their collection. Sweet Sugar, another one without the slipcover here. It's just on their back catalog. It just sounded interesting to me. It sounds like it kind of goes for more of like the action exploitation vibe. But it looks like there's some good, exciting kidnapping story that goes along with this. I don't know, just weird exploitation cinema. This was from the early 70s too, if I'm not mistaken. 1972. I don't know what this kind of film would be like in that era, because I don't usually watch films like this, but I'm interested to check it out. That's Sweet Sugar. And the last adult film that I have here from the box is 1001 Erotic Nights, Part 1 and Part 2. I think they're called parts. Yep, Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1, Part 2, Part 2, Part 1. Haha. Good slipcover here. This is a newer release by Vinegar Syndrome that came out sometime in 2020. And it like all the others, it's got really nice, embossed, different textured lettering. That's 1001 Erotic Nights. You get 2 films in here for the price of 1. You can't beat that. That's 1001 Erotic Nights. And Luke Mick, the fucking bozo dingbat that he is, forgot to mention one of his own movies, Beyond Evil. This is not an exploitation film, from what I understand. This is not an adult film. This is a horror film from the 70s or 80s. Let me confirm that. I'll do a quick fact check here. 1980, probably filmed in the late 70s, released in 1980. The reason that we bought this one was mostly because Luke is a really big John Saxon fan. He loves it when he makes an appearance in films, and the slipcover is very cool for this. We've heard mixed things about the film itself, but the slipcover has a great design, different textures, lots of different colors, laser beams coming out of eyeballs. But the fact that John Saxon is in this film in a leading role, I believe, was really a selling point. I was able to convince Luke Mick to add this one to the cart. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Do you want the stage back? Okay, I'll give it back. Bye, everybody. I hope he invites me on again sometime. This is Mick Luke signing off. And if you haven't, subscribe to the channel, and maybe you'll see a little bit more of my pretty mug. Okay, thanks for giving us your 2 cents, I guess. I'm getting really sick of dealing with Mick Luke. Like, there are perks to having him around, but he just kind of bugs me sometimes. Okay, well, now that that's over, let's roll through the rest of the titles here. Decoder. This has a gorgeous slip, in my opinion. I don't think it's so much a horror film or an exploitation film. I think it might be more of like a psychological science fiction drama from what I've read and just photos I've seen, but I could be completely wrong. If you've seen this movie and I'm just being a dumbass, please let me know. But this is one of my favorite slipcovers in the collection, I think. I think it's just gorgeous. I love it to death. So I really wanted to grab this one before it went out of stock, because I know this one has been out for a good while now. Not too long, but it's definitely not a newer release. So that's Decoder. This movie is called Hellmaster. Added it to the cart because it looked like a gory, fun movie. I don't know much else about it, but this slipcover is kind of interesting because this like J cross looking design is actually cut out, which is different from all the other ones, and it has like a dark guy silhouette type thing on the back here. This isn't like my favorite slipcover at all, honestly. It might be my least favorite one. It's just kind of ugly to me and looks weird, but hopefully the movie's fun. That's Hellmaster. This is one that we added to the cart right at the end, basically. It's Taking Tiger Mountain, another one that is, or was, I should say, close to going out of stock. I'm guessing it probably did by the end of the sale, but this is actually Bill Paxton's first film, from what I understand. And I hear that you get to see his penis in it. So that would be interesting. It looks like a, fun 80s indie black and white film. It looked interesting to me, so I added it to the cart, and I really liked the cover. I like how staggered the letters are. It's kind of like a staircase or something. Looks like a good time. I'm glad I picked it up. Shot. This has an incredible, crazy slipcover. It's just so erratic and all over the place. I guess this was, they coined it as the University of Illinois, I believe, their first ever film or student film. It was made at a school or by college students, which I think is really interesting, in the 80s or maybe early 90s. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it's essentially like a shoot 'em up type movie, I guess. It's like a chase shooting movie. I guess there's like really cool helicopter shots, things like that, lots of destruction and gun violence and all that great stuff, I guess. Pigs. This one had some really disgusting, grotesque, violent imagery on the images included on Vinegar Syndrome's website. The slipcover was still in stock, and I liked the look of the slipcover, so I bought pigs. It looks like pigs might eat people in this movie. That's all I have to say about it. Most of these movies I really don't know much about, but that's okay. Rad on 4K. This is a movie that people were really excited for, I guess. I guess it's kind of like a cult classic of the 90s, an extreme sports, biking, BMX movie about this race course or something. It got the same type of treatment that they gave Tammy and the T-Rex, a 4K release and a lenticular cover, both 90s cult classics. I truly don't know much about Rad, but it's going to look really nice on the shelf, and I like the other side too with that yellow coloring. That actually looks really nice as well. This is another horror slasher type thing here. Olivia, lot going on the cover art here. Really nice artwork on the back as well. A more recent release by Vinegar Syndrome, if I'm not mistaken, so I wasn't too worried about this one going out of stock, but I bought it anyway because I knew it's a movie that I'd probably appreciate in some way. These next two are their June releases for 2020. The first one here I'm really excited about. It's Patty Hearst, and this is the film that Paul Schrader directed after Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, if I'm not mistaken. I recently watched Mishima. It's in the Criterion collection. I've had it forever. I loved it. I fucking loved it. I thought it was amazing. So I'm excited to watch Patty Hearst. I'm not expecting it to be as great as A Life in 4 Chapters was, but I'm still excited to check it out regardless because Paul Schrader is becoming a really unique voice in filmmaking that I never really watched in my previous years. So I'm excited for Patty Hearst. And the other June release, or I'm sorry, these are May releases, not June releases. Patty Hearst was a May release. The other May release is The Immortalizer. Awesome cover here. This is supposed to be like kind of like a re-animator knockoff sort of thing. I believe it came out in the 90s. Amazing cover on the back there with a woman with a giant needle going towards her. Looks like she's pretty frightened by this needle, as anyone would be. So that's The Immortalizer. Looks like a blast. I like the green. Okay, and just two more here. Two box sets. I'm pretty sure one of them sold out completely, I believe. I bought one of the last ones, but maybe some people canceled. I don't know for sure. But it is the Angel Collection. These are a trilogy of films, exploitation films about a high school student who's like a prostitute, but she also takes down like gangs and drug dealers and pimps. It sounds completely ridiculous and schlocky and stupid. It just sounds exciting, doesn't that just sound like a horrible, trashy movie that you can just put on late at night, have a beer, eat some popcorn, laugh at, yell at. It has a really cool case here that you kind of pull apart. I've been doing that, like that. And the back there, I'm pretty sure the girl that plays Angel in all three films, I think it's a different actress each time, from what I understand. I could be wrong, because I've never seen these. That's the Angel Collection. And the last one I have here is Amityville, The Cursed Collection. Personally, I have never seen any of the Amityville horror films. Haven't seen the remake with Ryan Reynolds. Haven't seen the original one from the 70s. These are like weird middling movies that came out in the 80s and early 90s, I believe. There are 4 films in here. I don't know how connected they are to the original series, but this is what the box looks like when you open it up. It's got really cool red and black artwork on the little slot holder part here, and it comes with 4 individual movies in here that fit very nicely in this very sturdy, very thick, nice, smooth box. Yes. So, no, I've heard that people kind of hold a soft spot for some of these movies in this collection, and they look like they'd be pretty entertaining just by the images I've seen and what I've heard other people say about them. So that's why I bought it. The Amityville Cursed Collection. And that's pretty much it. This is not everything, but it's a lot of things. A lot of the things that I bought. So like I said, now that I'll be getting these things monthly, I'll never have a box this big from them again unless I stop subscribing. We'll see how it goes for the first 6 months. But that's pretty much it. If you all enjoyed this video and you want to support the channel, please just like the video and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more content like this. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have for you for this video. So, with no further ado, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good morning, day, afternoon, night, evening, whatever you're doing right now, and I'll talk to you later.